Like some old hearsay, old alien hearsay, philosophy, and my handwriting is a mess. Without the ocean, the wave does not have the power to be a wave. Without me, you do not have the power to be you. And without you, my power is not made manifest. Let's understand what they try to say here. Um, without them, nos, we don't have power to be ourselves, and without the eyes, their power is not manifest. Oh, this means that we are here to represent the all, the source. You see, we are here to represent the source. And so without the physical, we cannot represent this source. In order to represent the source, we must be in the physical. Your joy is to make me manifest. That means that our joy is to manifest God incarnated. The joy of humanity is too much of God, is to know. The joy of humanity is to know. It's difficult to read. The joy of humanity is the mind of God. The joy of humanity is the mind of God. Your presence is evidence of existence of God. Everything there is the evidence of the existence of the source. Change your perception and alter your experience. Perception creates experiences. So change your perception of something and then alter your experience. You need to adjust your thinking in order to perceive something differently. Perception creates experiences. Not you see is what you get. What you see is what you get, and what you get is what you see. Really? So let me see. So what I see is what I'm getting. So okay, I want to have more than enough. So that's how come I do not manifest this. How to understand. And what you get is not what you see. What you are getting is not what you see. This means all our experience in life is just like a fantasy. I mean, I'm not seeing properly beyond the veil, and I'm not seeing beyond the sufferings and all that, the hardship, the obstacles. Is that what they mean? That when they say what you see is what you get, and what you get is not what you see. That's difficult, there's a dichotomy, because this a bit of a trick words. What you see is not what you get. So okay, I want to see more than what I have and I am. So that's mean why I do not realize all this, why I do not make it manifest into my reality. And what you got is not what you see. That means you try to say that what I'm getting right now is what I deserve, because you all give to us what you think that we need, but not what we want. Is that correct? What I'm trying to break here? Believe is see. Seeing is belief. I cannot believe to see. I must see to believe. It's the opposite. They are trying to distort things. Because all religions based on believe to see. We don't see to believe. And I see to believe. You see? I need see first. I believe later. Yesterday 26, now 27 for me. I've seen white dragon, and he didn't talk much. It was there's some kind of altercation between beings, like dark beings and others. They were all fighting, and they were fighting for earth, and they were not just fighting for earth, they were fighting for eyes. And there's this dark one, he wanted me to be allied with them, and that he was telling me that the white dragons were bad. You see, so it's all very complicated. And then there came the white dragons, and then they just stood there far away watching all those choral, those bickering unfolding between beings. And I was like, I was in the middle, literally speaking, the middle of all the mess, of all the argument. And I just kind of watched them, and the dragon were just opposite me. In the vision, they were not bigger than me, but I know that they are bigger than us. But in the vision, I could become as big as they were. So perspective creates perception, and perceptions creates experiences. I don't believe that's not correct. Because what? Because the earth is so dense. The quark from which the earth is made of is so dense that it's almost impossible for things to realize, to materialize very fast, as it is after that. After that, we kind of we get another type of body, and we kind of make things materialize very fast with the power of a thought. The same thing does not apply inside this body. What takes seconds to materialize outside this body, it takes years and eons to materialize here on earth. So it's not true as they say. For them it's okay, because they live in a timeless and no space, no time dimension. We frequency, I mean, not, it's not our case. Our case that we live in a type of division, a linear space, you see. So it makes different for us. We cannot compare them with us. They cannot compare their realities with ours, because it's totally different. We are in parallel world. Objective reality is an oxymoron. I don't know. Appearances are based on perceptions. That's true. That's true. And the perceptions are based on perspectives. So appearances are based on perceptions. That means the thing, somebody is rich, somebody is poor, somebody is ugly, somebody is beautiful, as for your perception. Everything is in the eyes of the beholder. So you see, that's all your opinion. Is not the other opinion, and the perceptions based on perspective. Paper, they are objective. What? Based on perspective. Paper, they were anti-objective, but subjective, that anti something you experience. Perception is based on perspective. Perspective aren't objective, but subjective. They aren't something you experience, but that you just observe. So, but something that you choose. It is impossible to live or to die without God, but not impossible to think that you are. It's a thing that you are living and die without God. You will experience that you are. If you are living and die without a God, you will experience that you are. Momentarily, yes. Momentarily, depend on the level of where you are after death. It's impossible to live or to die without God. Okay, hope is the doorway to belief. Belief is the doorway to knowing. Knowing is the doorway to creation. And creation is the doorway to experience. Experience is the doorway to expression. Expression, the doorway to become. Becoming is the activity of all life and the only function of the source God. What you hope, you will eventually believe. What you believe, you will eventually know. What you know, you will eventually create. What you create, you will eventually experience. What you experience, you will eventually express. those come traumas and all that, because it's all based on the experiences and the debris, the vestige that remains behind in your memory, which is haven't been healed. So again, I'm going to repeat. Hope is the doorway to belief. Belief is the doorway to knowing. Knowing is the doorway to creation. And the creation is the doorway to experience. Experience is the doorway to expression. Expression, the doorway to become. Becoming is the activity of all life and the only function of the source. What you hope, you will eventually believe. What you believe, you will eventually know. What you know, you will eventually create. What you create, you will eventually experience. And what you experience, you will eventually express. Very, very beautiful, amazing. What you express are all extremely eventually will eventually become this. This is the foundation of life. What you express, you will eventually become. This is the foundation, the formula of all of life. So what you express, you will eventually become. Here on earth is the kingdom of God. Then the other places aren't the kingdom of God. That is no place that exists that is not part of the kingdom. Now you are telling the truth. It's not part of the kingdom. Life on earth is not a trial and tribulation, but it looks like it is. Enabling us to get into the kingdom of God. And that is not the way to get in. I got it. That means you don't have to die like many zealous religionists think that they need to die to go to kingdom of God, to reach heaven, blah blah blah. And you don't need that. You can even experience here or not, because nirvana is a state of mind, is a state of you being happy and satisfied. If you are not, when people are having too much problem, stress in life, poverty, diseases, people are not being happy. So there's no way they can experience what they came here to experience. So it's very important that everybody feels this way, get to feel this way, and have enough to live in dignity. But is a disintegration, because it ceases being integrated from the whole, and it applies not just to human beings but any other being. From being singular, we separate ourselves in three-part being: body, mind, spirit, subconscious, conscious, superconscious. In psychiatry, think only what you choose to experience. Say only what you choose to make you real. Use your mind to consciously instruct your body to do only what you choose to demonstrate as your highest reality. This is how you create at the conscious level. Feeling is the language of the soul. Back home is a place called completion. This means when you leave this body, you cease from disintegrate yourself from the whole, and you going back home. You go back from where you came from, and you're supposed to be completed anyway. Perspective creates perception. Perception creates experience. Subconscious brain level, conscious physical level, supraconscious soul level, supraconscious all is gone, all is one. It's just like the crust. Crust is a crystal mentality. It's nothing to do with a being. It's a crystal mentality. It's a crystal consciousness. Elevated consciousness. Elevated consciousness. This is a very old. I keep this since 2001. Now that I came to see it in the draw. Returning to awareness is a twofold process. Awareness is achieved by knowing and experiencing, which produces feeling. Awareness is the feeling of what you have known and experienced. It is one thing to know something and another to experience it, and it's still another to feel it. Only feelings can produce awareness fully. The physical world is designed to provide you with a context within which you might experience outwardly what you know inwardly. So that's what the physical world is all about. Is designed to provide eyes with a context within which we might experience in the physical what we know through theory, because knowing alone is not enough. We need to go there and bear it and experience it. And so that's, fortunately or fortunate whatever, that's the way the cookies crumbles. Knowing alone can produce only partial warnings. So does experience alone produce partial warnings. Experience it isn't wanting to know something. That's why I like to put all into practice. I mean logical and practical. Return to warnincy is a twofold process. Warnincy is achieved by knowing and experiencing, which produces feeling. Warnincy is the feeling of what you have known and experienced. So because it's only by going through things, experiences, that we eventually learn. Without mere theories or seeing from another experiences, we do not understand. We do not because we came here, unfortunately there's the game, and then we forgot everything that we knew before. We forgotten, and so it's very hard for us to understand the game, and we need to go through stages of the game to see how we fare, to see how we react to all this. Understand how we process all those sufferings. So it's another one thing to know something is a theory, and another to experience it, to go through obstacles, and it's still another to feel it. Some people are just numb. They don't have any more feelings. They are numb of too many sufferings. Only feelings can produce worrying and see fully. So that's it for now. Maybe there's some more somewhere. I keep somewhere and I forget to see all there already. It's very old. It's about 15, 16-year-old. I don't even use internet yet. When I put it down from the book, Conversations with God, which was dictated by the Pleiadians to Neil Donald Walsh of Oregon, USA. So I'm browsing some. This is just some essays, just a few selected by me. There is more somewhere. Later we'll find.